What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii and I am back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video we are going to be going ahead and doing our full playthrough of the brand new Clash that has arrived on One Piece Treasure Cruise Global, being Clash ZORO. This character is extremely good and definitely a character you guys should be trying to farm up. However, he is actually probably one of the most difficult raid bosses in the entire game, if not probably the most difficult raid boss in the entire game. He has really annoying debuffs, and you need to bring so many different utility units, or just really key units that can enable you to get around some of the debuffs that are available on this dungeon. And we'll talk about them once we get to the playthrough. Before we get to the playthrough though, well, let's actually discuss the new character and why he's so goddamn good. So here we have Clash ZORO, who is a quick slasher driven character. And these are his max stats with his max limit break. He has 3286 HP, 1616 attack, and 190 recovery. His captain ability is actually pretty good for a free-to-play character, boosting two separate classes, being slashers and driven characters' attack by 2.75 times, and giving them a 1.2 times HP boost. He then boosts their attack again by about 3 times after 2 perfects, and then after 5 perfects, he will boost both of those classes by 3.3 times. So in terms of free-to-play captain ability, it's actually pretty good, and could definitely see play in One Piece Treasure Cruise, definitely. Before we get to his special ability, his two crewmate abilities, first one being character's quick slot will be carried over to the next turn if you land a good or a great. Now, some people might be confused as to why this is actually a thing, and the main reason for this is because this is going to be basically hinting towards the fact that Legend Guild Tesoro will be coming very soon to One Piece Treasure Cruise Global, and this sailor effect works very well with Legend Guild Tesoro as a captain. So once Guild Tesoro comes out, you know, we'll break down why he is actually like not even a bad legend. Honestly, he's really, really good. But yeah, this is this specific crewmate ability is kind of tailored towards that, and his secondary one is just simply boosting the base stats of slashers and driven by 50. Now, his special ability will max at 14 turns with his limit break. He will go to 15, obviously, when he is not limit broken, but it does 55 times his attack in non-type damage to one enemy, but that damage actually ignores all defensive effects, so that's a great amount of damage. He then also reduces enemies' damage threshold and rainbow shield damage reduction by 5 turns. Amazing utility. But then on top of this, if your HP is full when you activate the special, you get a 2 times affinity boost to your slashes and your driven for 1 turn. However, if your HP is not full when you activate it, it'll be a 1.75 times boost for 2 turns to their color affinity. So that's pretty cool. This guy is going to see a lot of play in the future for slashers and driven teams, but this is still one of the big problems that slashers have in particular, is a lot of the really powerful slasher units are either Zoro or Mihawk. So whenever they bring out, you know, like really good slasher units, it is kind of annoying the fact that they do bring out so many good ones that are the same character, because obviously you can't stack them all on the same team. So that is quite unfortunate. For driven teams specifically, there isn't really too many Zoro characters that are kind of dedicated towards driven teams. This is definitely a bigger buff, in my opinion, towards driven teams. This is an amazing ability that they now have access to. So V2 Dofi teams, if you guys have V2 Dofi, that's just furthermore to the fact that you should be farming this character. An amazing unit. Definitely go ahead and pick him up. He will be a trusty character in the upcoming treasure map versus Big Mom, so make sure to go ahead and do that. But now let's go ahead and actually break down the dungeon and actually do the playthrough of Clash ZORO. So let's go ahead and start talking about the Clash ZORO dungeon. So stage 1, it actually has a whole bunch of just random fodder characters and an Elder Turtle here. Nothing really to take note of, but I would definitely try and take down those Psy mob characters on the back end of this specific room, as they do really negative stuff to your team if you don't kill them on turn 1. So definitely kill off the yellow guys at the front and the green guy at the front as well, and then you'll be good to completely move on here. The second room is kind of similar. It has the same yellow mob characters at the back. Make sure to kill those guys first. And also, once again, it has the bazooka guy. Now, this bazooka guy, like in most other dungeons, whenever you see this character, if you get him below 50%, he typically will blind you for about 5 turns. So don't get him below 50%. Now, depending on what team you are bringing, it might be worth bringing along someone who can deal poison or can do fixed damage dealing, because on stage 3 of this dungeon, it can be quite difficult depending on your team, because you have 3 seahorses and 3 marines with really high defense. Now, these marine characters, if they all stay alive, will actually go ahead and slot bind certain characters on your crew. And then if the seahorses are left alive, they will go ahead and bind characters on your crew for 6 turns. The slot bind that I mentioned was only going to last for 4 turns, but definitely along here, this could be like a make or break it room, so I would probably suggest bringing someone who can deal with this stage a lot easier, but again, it does come down to what team you are specifically bringing for this fight. Now, stage 4 is where problems start to arise for most players. So, stage 4 is going to be against Toshiki. Toshiki has only 900,000 HP, and she attacks every turn for 6,500. Her preemptive will go ahead and change all your orbs, basically just to random, but she puts an increased rate for negative orbs to appear on your team. So, having someone to potentially manipulate those orbs is going to make this fight specifically easier. She also has a delay protector and has a 3-turn rainbow shield damage reduction. So characters that could be useful for taking out the Rainbow Shield are characters like 6+ Jinbei, Treasure Map Jack is quite good, 5+ Yonji, Bobbin, Strength Treble, Strength Time Skip Chopper, Quick Diamante, all are very, very good units to help you get rid of that Rainbow Shield as well. On turn 2, she actually will go ahead and deal 9,500 fixed damage to your team, and I believe this cannot be like damage reduced at all. She's guaranteed to deal 9,500 damage to you, and she gives you 3 turns of attack down. However, from what I saw, the attack down actually wasn't really that difficult to really play around, but it is just something to note as well. And then once you defeat Toshiki, you're going to reach stage 5, which is going to be against ZORO. Now, ZORO has 7.5 million HP, and he attacks every turn for 8,800 damage. He actually has a 2-hit Great Barrier for 15 turns, so unless if you have someone like Legend Blackbeard to get through that, you will have to make sure that you are able to hit Great. So bringing a ship or an ability to make you hit perfects easier isn't really recommended for this fight. ZORO despairs you for 5 turns as well, and has a damage limiter for 5 turns. So the new rare recruit Chobro is going to be amazing here to get rid of those specific debuffs, making this fight a lot easier. Now, he does have a interrupt, where if you delay him, he will go ahead and cancel all special effects, give you a full board of block orbs, and rewind all your specials for 3 turns. So do not try to delay this character, unless if you have Katakuri, of course. Once again, like most fights, don't get him below 30% or 50% because he does like lots of damage and he enrages, and you just don't want to get him below typically 50%. That's the really good mark to then go ahead and burst down the rest of his HP. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the Katakuri team. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you go ahead and smack the like button down below. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.